Hello, my today's video is about Namjoon's Right Place, Wrong Person album, and at first I didn't quite like it, frankly speaking, but now I think that it's genius, and I want to explain why I feel like that. But at first, before I get to the actual songs and the actual story that is behind this album, and I believe that this is definitely a story, I want to say a few words about how I perceive arts and how I perceive music in general. So when I listen to some song, when I read the lyrics of a certain song, I don't really try my best to understand what the author meant. I try to understand what this particular song or this particular album makes me think about and makes me feel like. Because like my ears are the only ears that I have, my eyes are the only eyes that I have. So it is very important for me how I perceive what I see and how I perceive what I hear. And sometimes it matches what the author meant, sometimes it doesn't, and it's not my responsibility. So in today's video I'm going to tell you what I see in this album. I'm not implying that Namjoon actually meant this, or any of the producers meant this. I think that they might. I think that this may be the story, that this story was written the way I saw it, but it's not mandatory. And also I really encourage you to disagree with me, and I really encourage you to tell me what you feel about each song, what you feel about this album, and what you feel about Namjoon's art or any other art in general. So as I have already said, I firmly believe that this whole album is a story, and I will tell you the meaning of the story at the end of the video after we go through each song one by one. And the first song is Right People, Wrong Place. And for me, this song is about exhaustion and burnout. I think about burnout even more because of the words that are in this song when he says feeling high on a forest fire. But this whole song, this music and these words that repeat and repeat and repeat all the time, these words that are felt without are the words of the person who has lost the connection with themselves to the point that they no longer understand what is wrong or what is right, and they have no strength and they have no energy to deal with it anymore. So I remember this moment in my life when I didn't want to do anything at all. I didn't want to think, I didn't want to communicate, I didn't want to feel anything. I was so lost in my own life that all these people felt wrong and right at the same time. And yeah, it is filled with confusion, because this confusion comes from the fact that the person doesn't have any connection with themselves. And this lack of connection with themselves comes from repeatedly doing what you don't really want to do, and repeatedly being what you really are not. So this is my opinion about this first song, and I think it's about exhaustion and burnout. The next song is called Nuts, and it's very popular with the fans as far as I know, and I really love it. I really love the sound of it, and I really love how pretentious it is, I would say. But when I think about, or when I try to feel what this song makes me feel like, I really feel a lot of disappointment.
I could make this right place for you. I could make it just right for you. I could make this right place for you. I could make it right.
It is very natural to feel disappointed after you feel burned out, because burnout, even subconsciously, we perceive it as the state into which we come when we have been doing something wrong. And if we have been doing something wrong, or if we have been perceiving the world wrongly, we come to a realization that, no, nothing is like that. And this realization comes together with a huge feeling of disappointment. Disappointment in our own decisions, disappointment in other people, disappointment in the way we related to other people, and disappointment in the way that we related to the world. And I see the disappointment, I see a lot of disappointment also in the lyrics of this song, because on the one hand he says like, I could make this right place for you. So it's disappointment in the decisions that they've made that made this place wrong for them. It's also this phrase, love is for the freaks. So it's disappointment in life, in love. Why did I say disappointment in life? Maybe disappointment in life is the same as disappointment in love, because love is what the life is made of. Okay, I didn't plan this, just forget it. But I'm not gonna cut it, I'm gonna put it into the video. And also now I want to say that I firmly believe that this album is not just about relationships, it's definitely not just about love, life, it's about life in general. And in all of the difficult situations that we face, love is always involved, because something is changing, and these changes are reflected in our love life with like most evidently, like most obviously. So I believe that this album is not only about the changes that the person is going through in their love life, it's also about the changes that they are going through generally in life, but it is together with the changes in love life. So, as I said, I think that Knots is filled with disappointment. The next song is Out of Love, and Out of Love comes very naturally after Knots as well, because I feel a lot of anger in this song, and the main emotion that I feel is anger, but I feel that this is auto-aggression. Like, I feel and I see anger at myself, like anger of the person at themselves.
I'm just a pack of a cigarette. I'ma burn down the love and the hate, the right, the wrongs. Even the goddamn where I've been living it for my whole life. Smoking kills, I know it's my fucking business. You bitches, stop, don't talk shit.
When you review your life, and after you feel disappointment, you initially start to review like the choices that you've made, the decisions that you've made, and everything what was going on with you. You realize that the responsibility for the way that you lived is on you, because the way people treated you was the way you let people treat you. When you feel like you were in the wrong company, you realize that it was your decision to be in that company. When you realize that you were in the relationships that had been hurting you for a very long time, you realize that you were the one who stayed in these relationships, and you were the one who made the decision to stay in these relationships every single day. When you are disappointed in your work, you realize that you were the one that chose this work and chose not to search for another work. When you are disappointed in everything that was happening to you, you realize that most of it was your own decision. And there is a lot of anger, and this anger is at yourself. I believe that there is another song which is very angry in this album, and that's a different kind of anger, but we will get to it a little bit later. For now, I think that Out of Love is anger at yourself. The next song is Tomadachi, and it made me very confused. Like when I was reading the lyrics, I couldn't understand half of the words. I swear to God, I was reading the lyrics and I was like, okay, like Ivan, like apparently I don't understand English anymore. And when I was listening to it, I felt a lot of anxiety and a lot of disappointment, like a lot of confusion in this song. And it was really hard for me to put this all together, because some of the words are about friends and about that we are friends, we are bros and blah blah blah, but somehow I also felt some disgust or something like that towards these friends. So it took me some time to really understand, and to really understand how I feel about this song and what this song may be about. And the thing that helped me was actually searching for the word Tomadachi, because Tomadachi is the Japanese word, and the first translation which comes is friend. But when I started to search a little bit more about this word, and I realized that it's not actually a friend, it's more of an acquaintance or some Like Tomadachi is more of a person that he just knows. So for me, this song is about realizing, again, it's disappointment, but it's about realizing that all of your circle, all of your friends' circle is not actually your friends. Because some changes have already happened in you, because you've already been through disappointment and through anger, and you realized how you were living your life only. But those people who are around you that felt right like a month ago or 2 months ago, now they don't feel right. Now they don't feel like your friends, they feel like Tomadachi, like someone that I know. And we are hanging out together, but I'm not sure why we are hanging out together. Like, we are doing something together, but we're not sure what do we even have in common, like what is going on. I don't think it's about BTS, by the way. I think it's about like general like circle of people or something like this. But I really know this feeling. I felt that, and it's a very weird feeling that on the one hand you feel like, what am I doing here? Like all the time when you are in the circle of people that you used to be friends with, that you used to know, you've been friends like forever, you feel like, oh, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Why are they talking about what they're talking about? Why are they doing what they're doing? It's such general confusion and such like disappointment in your circle. So this is what I felt in this song, and I think that this song is about it. It's about not feeling right in the company that you felt right in before. The next song, Interlude ? It kind of feels weird. At least it felt weird at first to me. I think it's about starting to find peace with your past.
I don't mind it at all.
So while in the previous songs there was anger and disappointment and confusion and all of these things, in this song, Interlude, ? Interlude, it feels the same as when you are starting to understand how the world works, and you start to understand what the experience that you have had, how it contributed into your personality. So what it let you learn about yourself, what this experience and painful experience helped you learn about life and about love and about yourself. And this is a very interesting feeling. I can't even say an emotion. So it's something like maybe curiosity. Curiosity, by the way, is a question mark. Maybe it's curiosity. So you start to see the world a little differently, and you start to try and understand how it works. Maybe it would be better if I didn't know you, but at the same time, if I didn't know you, how would I learn all of the things that I learned with you? How would I understand the things that I understood about myself if you weren't there? If you weren't creating the situations in which I would be understanding more and more what I like and what I don't? How would it happen if I didn't know you? This is how I feel about this song, about ? Interlude. The next song is Groin. Groin is 10 out of 10. It's anger. It's clear and obvious anger, but it's a very healthy kind of an anger. And when I made notes, like I listened to the album, and I made notes about which song makes me feel what way. And about Groin, I just wrote anger, and I wrote fuck off everyone. It's a very natural process of cleaning your surrounding and cleaning your responsibilities and cleaning your obligations. So you realize that this burnout that we saw in the first song, that I felt in the first song, it happened because of all of the people whom I have been carrying with me. All of the people who were using me for their own projects, all of the people who were using me for their own good, all of the people who were using me just because they could, just because I was letting them. And this Groin is a song when you really are like, okay, I need to clean all of this shit out of my life. And you just like get your ass out of stroke, just go away from my life. Like, I don't want this anymore. Why am I even doing this? Why am I even talking to you right now? You start to fight back, and you start to get your energy back. So it is very energetic, exactly because with anger comes a lot of energy, but also you start to save a lot of energy because you no longer do the shit that you didn't want to do. You no longer talk to people that you don't want to talk to. You don't longer do any favors to people that you don't even want to. You were just used to doing a lot of things to people, and people were just used to using you for their own favor. But now you just say, get your ass out of the truck. I'm no longer doing the shit for you. Like, go away. Like, solve your problems on your own. I need my own energy, at least to recover and to heal. So I love this song. I love how it makes me feel. I love the period of time that it reminds me of, because I remember when I was doing it, and it was really difficult for me because I'm, a good girl. But also it was it was so much fun. It was so much fun saying to people that I'm no longer catering to your needs. I'm no longer spending my all energy for you. I'm no longer doing that. Just solve your own problems by yourself. That was a cool time. I remember that time, and it was cool. The next song is Heaven. Heaven feels like a lot of freedom, and it is the moment when you realize that for the first time in your life you are actually free from dependency on other people.
Take my heaven, 'cause you went inside it. If that's your delight, come ruin my vibe.
It has a few different layers. I will talk about them one by one. So the first thing that it reminded me of was when I saw my ex for the first time after the breakup, and I realized that he has no power over me anymore. So I've been in very difficult, like, codependent relationships for a very long time. And this song reminds me of the moment when, for the first time, I met this person, and he started to try and treat me the same ways that he used to. And I saw it, and I didn't feel anything. And it was very similar. It was like you can do whatever you want. Like, you can try to manipulate me the same ways that you used to. You can try to get me. You can try to make me feel guilty, but it's not working anymore. Like, I'm not playing these games anymore. So you can do whatever you want, but I'm not gonna be involved in that, because I'm not letting you involve me into this. And this is the first memory that I got. But also, there is another level to this, and this another level is the feeling that you get as if nobody can hurt you. As if nobody can hurt you anymore, because but at the same time, like, nobody can hurt you, not because you closed your heart, but oppositely, because you opened it to the fullest. And you continue giving your love to people, but you don't give your heart to people. So you give love, but you keep your heart to yourself. And that's why you feel super protected, because nobody can get you. And at the same time, you don't need to close yourself from people. So you're like, here you go, take my heaven, take my love, take my gratitude, take my blessings, take everything, take my energy, take my vibe, take everything you want. Like, it's endless. I have it all the time. Like, you can take as much as you want, but I keep my heart to myself. I'm not giving you my heart. And this is the moment when you learn this. You learn that you don't need to give your heart to other people. You can give all of the products, everything that your heart produces, like all of your creativity, all of your what is this word? Compassion. All of your sorry, English is not my first language. All of your compassion. You can give all of your creativity. You can give all of your atmosphere that you can create with your vibe, but you don't have to give your heart away. You give your heart to yourself, and it makes you invincible. So this is how I felt about heaven. It felt great. The next song is Lost. Lost is an amazing song. Lost is a song which shows a period of time when the changes actually start to happen.
Hold up. Damn, now thank you, don't worry. Just try to body on the set, not talking God.
So before that, you were like, you had some changes in your perception, but during Lost, the actual changes, like deep changes in your life, started happening, and it is super confusing because this is the first time that you live in a completely new way. So for like, in my situation, like for 27 or 28 years, I have been living a certain way, and now I have to do it like completely differently. And the funny thing is that it's a period of absolute turbulence. It's a period of absolute instability because everything is shifting, everything is changing. Like, nothing looks like it used to look like. And at the same time, when your perception is changing, your body is also changing. And it's like everything is very unreliable. So you cannot rely on your body because it is changing all the time. You cannot rely on your mood because it's changing all the time. You cannot rely on your thoughts because they are changing all the time. Like, for me, it was like today I have one opinion about some things, and like in 3 days my opinion is completely different, and I can't even remember why I was thinking the way I was thinking 3 days ago. So it was a period of total instability, and at the same time it was so weird. It felt like you are on a roller coaster. Frankly, it felt like you are just like ups and downs, you are spinning, and everything is changing. And it also gives so much freedom because you realize that there is nothing you can rely on, so you may as well just flow, like go with the flow and just try to survive this period. But you also kind of understand that this period is also very natural and very needed, very required. It's something that is happening for a reason. It's something that is happening because you are changing, and it's all right that this is happening. But at the same time, like, it's totally like nothing to rely on, and super confusing. And that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of pain. Also, there was a lot of loss, because in this period you lose a lot of things. And by the way, I also said that your body is changing, but also the way that you present yourself is changing. Because, and I think something like that happened to Namjoon, like somewhere between the lines, because I remember there was one event, I don't remember which one it was, I will put the photo somewhere here, when he comes and he looks one way, but next time we see him, he looks like totally different and much more authentic, I would say. Because in this period also you stop thinking about how people perceive you. and you start thinking about how you feel about yourself. And you get deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself until you find what you really are. And when you find what you really are, you start to dress differently and you start to look differently. Like your face is changing, you change your hair, like everything is changing. Everything is changing completely, and you no longer think about how people will see you. It only matters for you if your look, if the way you present yourself is authentic to yourself. I don't know if you noticed, maybe it's not even true, but it's the way I see it. When Namjoon changed his hair and when he changed his outfit, and even his face changed, I feel like even his face changed. He became much less clumsy and much less awkward. And this is exactly what happens when you let yourself be yourself. You stop trying to control your energy, you stop trying to control your vibe, and you start giving yourself a chance to be what you really are. And this is what happens during this period of lost. It's also a very cool process. Everything is a very cool process. The next song is Around the World in One Day, and it's also a little bit confusing to me, because the words not always, like, I don't understand all of the words, just like it happened with Tomadachi, and I decided to concentrate more on how I feel about this song. And the way I feel is that it is this period when you are tired as shit because of all of the changes, because they take a lot of energy. Like every shift like that, and every shift in perception, and every shift in reality takes a lot of energy, always.
Let's start the parade. If it's about to decide, only time will sort it out.
So you're tired as fuck, and nothing is like it used to be. And you really give up control of what is happening, because you no longer have energy to control anything. And as you give up this control, you realize that something is like, there is the way the world is working, and the world is working without my participating in it. Like everything is happening as it should be happening, and it's not necessary for me to really try and control everything. And at the same time, you kind of miss the people from the previous life, and maybe some of them come back in this period of time, and you just perceive them completely differently, and now it's okay to be with them. Maybe they changed as well, like along the lines. So a little bit of your circle is starting to change, but also you kind of change the perception of what was happening to you. You realize that all of the previous life that you used to have did have a meaning. All of the previous life was important for your life, and all of the, like, everything was as it should have been. At least this is what this song reminds me of. This is the period of my life that I recall when I listen to this song. It's a huge relief, actually, because you don't need to try and control everything. You don't need to try and control people anymore. You don't need to be angry at anyone anymore, because you realize that every person that you had in your life was teaching you a lesson, and that's all. You are no longer angry. You are no longer disappointed. You are no longer scared, even, because you believe that everything is going to be as it should. And yeah, that's a huge relief. And this is how I feel about the song Around the World in One Day. About gratitude, I kind of don't know. It's probably about gratitude, but I feel when I listen to it, I kind of feel like it was just put there. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like it's some pause, it's some rest, it's some, probably it's gratitude. Yeah, I feel grateful when I listen to it, so probably it's about gratitude, and that's all that I'm going to say.
When the credits roll, do you hang tight? Do you stay inside or go to life? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night.
And the last song is Come Back to Me, and I think that it's about acceptance. It's a point of accepting everything that has happened to you. It's a point of accepting your experience, and in particular your experience in love. You no longer think that love is for the freaks. You feel like love is something that the life is made of, and I can understand why this Come Back to Me is here. I remember when I came to this point, as I think I came to this point, I looked back at my relationships that I mentioned before, like this toxic, difficult, painful, codependent relationships, and I realized that it was something that was meant to be in my life to teach me the things that I wouldn't learn any other way. And it was a point when I accepted this experience because I realized that there was nothing else that could do the work for me. And I stopped being angry at that person, and I stopped being disappointed at that person or in myself, because I realized that those relationships lasted as long as I needed for me to learn everything that I needed to learn. And at this point, when you stop being angry at that person, and then you stop being angry at yourself, and when you start feeling grateful to this person, I can imagine where this Come Back to Me can appear from. Because you realize that you love them with your whole heart, and all the feelings that you had, all the wonderful feelings that you had, they were justified, and you want that back. You want that feeling of nativeness, the feeling that this person is the right one for you. You want it back, and it's natural. I didn't want mine back because, I realized that for that period of time, this person was the right one for me, but I'm totally different, and they are totally different, and I didn't want my partner back. But I can imagine where it may come from. And there are the words in this song, "You are my pain, divine, so fine." And this is also the acceptance of pain, because you realize that you can only learn some lessons, and you can only gain some features, and you can only grow and mature through the lessons that are uncomfortable in one way or another, and sometimes they are even painful. And it is natural to grow through pain. It is natural to grow through disappointment. It is natural to grow through the situations which hurt you one way or another. And this song, the vibe of this song, the words of this song, everything in this song, and the music video, by the way, I made a separate video about the music video of Come Back to Me, and you can watch it on my channel. But this whole vibe of this song is filled with acceptance and gratitude and so deep maturity, and I love it so much. It all, like all these tribulations, all these difficulties, all these states that I described earlier, led to this point, led to the point of come back to me, led to the point of acceptance. And in this song I can hear that even if this person doesn't come back, it's gonna be alright. There probably will be another person, or maybe not. It doesn't matter anymore, because you found peace with yourself, and you found peace with your past experiences, and you found peace with your life. And this is, in fact, the only thing that matters. So this is what I feel like this album is about. It's about a huge change in perception. It's about a huge, even spiritual change, maybe even spiritual awakening, if you want to call it so. And it is actually scary to me how much I relate to the experiences that Namjoon describes in his music. Because I think I went through more or less the same themes, maybe even in more or less the same time, I don't know. I'm almost the same age as Namjoon. He's like a few months older than me only. And I'm so grateful to Namjoon for being honest enough and being brave enough to go through it, but also to be vulnerable enough and again brave enough to share this all with the whole world. I don't know, for me, I went through all these things like on my own, more or less, and I never explained it to anyone, and I never even thought about sharing this experience with anyone. But when I listened to this album, I realized that maybe I should. And frankly, this video is not only me analyzing what Namjoon meant, but also me sharing my own experience of this shifts, of this change, of this awakening. And yeah, again, I'm very, very grateful. And also, I want to give one more illustration of what has happened to Namjoon. Do you remember his, like, all the old videos where they are in different interviews, where he's trying to control everything as he is face palming, then someone says something or does something that he thinks is not appropriate or something like this. So this super tense and controlling Namjoon. And how he came to the point when he came to meet Jin from the army with the saxophone and jeans with pink sparkles or something like this. So this is actually the change. This is the illustration of that change that is happening. You no longer give a shit, and it feels so great. I'm so proud of Namjoon, and I'm so grateful to Namjoon, and I'm really happy that Right Place, Wrong Person album exists for all of us to hear. Thank you for watching. See you next time. I'm probably going to make one more video. Okay, I'm not going to say it. I don't know what I'm going to make. But thank you for watching.